Are you afraid of the woods? Do you fear what might be lurking out there just beyond those hanging limbs at the edge of your vision? And when I say woods, I'm not talking about that copse of trees in your suburban backyard. I'm talking about the woods, a forest. Hundreds upon thousands of acres of sprawling, untamed wilderness. A place where if you wander off the trail, you just might not find your way back. So grab your gear, stick to the trail, and let's trek into the wild unknown. Stick around after the intro. What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and today I'm back with another book review for you guys. If you happen to be new to the channel, I read a lot of Indian small press horror, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Check out some of the other content here on the channel, and maybe you'll discover a book that you enjoy. But for today's book review, we're going to be talking about Appalachian Horror. This is an anthology of 8 stories edited by Bo Chappell and put out by Aphotic Realm. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong. A-P-H-O-T-I-C, Aphotic Realm. I guess I'm saying it right. I don't know. Bo, if you happen to watch this, you can probably let me know if I'm saying it right. But all of these were new to me authors at the time I read this. I've since read Sour by Tony Evans, and he has a story in here. This should be the review you hopefully get on Friday. But at the time of reading this, everyone was new to me. I have read novella by Bo. It was Our Biggest Fears. I'll link to that up in the cards if you want to check out that review. The Appalachian Mountains are sort of like my next door neighbor. You know, I live more in central Kentucky, so not quite in Appalachia, but I'm pretty dang close to it. This is a region in the United States that I'm just really in love with, and I really find myself drawn to the hardscrabble, gritty stories that take place there. And when you inject that with a heaping dose of horror, like this collection does, I feel like that is a book that is tailor-made and written for me, being a huge fan of Appalachian stories, that southern grit lit type stuff, and infuse that with actual horror, and that's right up my alley. So as the back of the book says, I really can't say it better than this. These are 8 strange and sinister tales of Appalachia. These mountains and hollers, they don't really care for the prying eyes of outsiders. What happens in Appalachia stays in Appalachia, to steal the Las Vegas sort of tagline, if you will. From bits of backwoods justice to some old-time religion to ancient evils. There are 8 stories collected here in this collection. We'll go through them all, give a brief sort of rundown of each one, and then we'll end up with my top 3 here at the end. So the first story, Entrails by John Morgan. This story is about 2 buddies or I don't even know if they're buddies. They seem like strangers, actually. So it's 2 guys who have gone hiking along the Appalachian Trail. They sort of veered off the trail and have become lost, and they seem to be haunted by this mysterious yellow tint. Next up is The Ghost Sang by Jeffrey X. Martin. A photographer travels to the Appalachian region to capture life in the rural decay, but she ends up seeing more than she bargained for. Next up, Blood is Always Thicker by Tony Evans. A couple of hunting buddies seek out a fresh spot to hunt and end up running afoul of an evil. Blood is thicker than water. And that story is has some witchcraft going on. Like I said, after I read this, I read Sour by Tony Evans. And this is about witches too. I asked him if his story, Blood is Always Thicker, was related to Sour at all. He said, no, it's not really related, but it does take place in sort of the same universe. So I thought that was pretty cool. Story number 4, The Town of Afurizit. How far is it? Afurizit. It's all mushed together, by Charity Langley. This one is about a student who is sent out to a small Appalachian town for a research paper in order to basically pass her class, get her grade up. This one deals with strange religious rites and a girl who can't actually speak and talk, but she has this golden singing voice. That one was quite creepy. Next up, The Bend by Cw Blackwell. The undead and their shepherd who has come to collect his missing flock, and a farmer tries to bargain with death. That one, I don't want to say anything because it's sort of a spoiler, but that one reminds me of a book, Out Behind the Barn by Chad Lutzke and John Bowden. It sort of had those same vibes to it. Next up, Braids Like Roots by Damascus Mincemeyer. A gnarled old tree needs to be uprooted to save the crops, but there is a dark power lurking in the grains of the wood. Black magic and familial secrets. Number 7, Trespassers by Renee Miller. A tourist wants a little adventure in her life and seeks out an abandoned old town. Don't go trespassing where you aren't welcome. And the last story, story number 8, Hemlock Winds by Sean LaChance. A sister somehow gets a hold of her brother's lost journal, and she reads through it and witnesses his sort of descent into madness as he gets lost hiking along the Appalachian Trail. So those were the stories. So if I had to pick my top 3, it was actually pretty hard because I enjoyed pretty much all of them, but some of them were super strong. But narrow it down to my top 3. Number 3 is Entrails. Number 2 is Braids Like Roots. And number 3 was The Bend. But really, honestly, any of them could have been in the top 3. I thoroughly enjoyed the collection as a whole. But these stuck with me a little bit more than the other ones did. But overall, it's a really fantastic collection or anthology here that they put together. But to close it out, frighteningly spine-tingling tales of backwood terror, disorienting and creepy. Appalachian Horror, edited by Bo Chappell, edited by Bo Chappell, cast a light into the darkened hollers only to have the shadows bite back. You'll think twice about taking that camping trip next time, and it's probably safe to just take the kids to Disneyland instead. But that's all I have for you guys today. This has been my 4-star review. I always forget to do the star ratings at the end. I'm giving this one 4 stars. It was a ton of fun, and I loved the mix of horror with these Appalachian stories. They take place, I think the furthest one up was like in Connecticut maybe. So all across the range of the Appalachian Mountains from Connecticut all the way down into probably like Tennessee and stuff. A ton of fun. If you like the Southern Gritlit stuff, definitely check it out. If you love horror, of course, sort of horror and folklore and folk tales and stuff all mixed together, this is a fantastic anthology to check out. Again, this is edited by Bo Chappell from Aphotic Realm. But that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for spending your time with me today. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.